Welcome back to the Brewing Stand Mechanic Item Transport. Brewing Stand Item Transport Mechanic Learning Group. Today we're going to talk about the queue. What can you use the queue for? Well, sending stuff back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What can you do? Well, let's see what we can do. Now, I went ahead and added a minecart with hopper and unloader over here so we could just send everything back into our dropper so we can just keep this party going, basically. So we're going to play with the queue here. Now, I've got this brewing stand on a sticky piston, and on the same timer as that, which I think I have that like at 10 seconds or something. Let's see how many sticks are in here. So 12, I believe, is... Oh, have that up here. 9 seconds. So it's a 9-second timer. I don't know why I picked 9 seconds, but that's what we're going to try this with. So I've got this loaded up with all sorts of things that you would get out of a typical gold harvesting device. Whether this be a overworld nether portal ticking machine, or in the nether with spawning and drawing them to you with drawing them to a killing chamber with like a turtle egg or something. So, but with it, we're just dealing with the drops. So, and the reason that we're going to use a queuing system here is because down there is our piston pusher. Pushes them up the tower, and then obviously we do whatever we want with them. Now, the piston pusher here obviously could have a little bit of a, tender loving care given to it to make the design a little better. This one seems to be working pretty decent. I am getting a few drops over here sometimes. And we did show in an earlier episode that sometimes those will get caught when items clump together. But our big concern for using this queue is these right here. These are getting stuck because they're hitting this end down here with the moving piston. And they're losing their momentum. When they lose their momentum, they can't proceed forward and bounce off of that one. They ain't going back. So we got to figure out a better way than just pulling up the brewing stand. And I'm going to put that together really quick. So I can show you some things that I have found so far, and this is just getting worse and worse. Let's turn it off. We'll grab all that and put it back. So I'm gonna do that really quick, and we will come right back here to see where we stand. Oh, I don't have pause on a hotkey, do I? Let's do it this way. Okay, so I've added a little bit of extra, changed the sticky piston around to it pushing in. Basically, it would be pushing in that slab. And what we've found from all of our previous learning on all of this, let's go back over here from one of our original videos. As the items pass along, they have to pass over this slab here, and they want to go the path of least resistance. So that would be no slab right here. If we put a slab right here, we lose our momentum. If we take this slab out, the path of least resistance is going back. So we just made a queue. So that's the reason we have to put a slab before the brewing stand. Now, putting that in this circuit over here accomplishes our goal. Because if we want to keep this brewing stand down here as what keeps the items bouncing back and forth, but we want to then periodically enable it to let the items pass, we have to put the slab there. Well, by moving this slab back and forth, we're actually causing a change in momentum if an item is in this area when it moves back. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So with it open like this, it's just going to queue up, and it's going to come back, and everything's going to flow down like it's supposed to. But then sometimes some things get pulled out or get pushed over because their momentum is right tied in with this slab as it's moving in the opposite direction of the way it was going. And I tried this for a while. I was like, how can I figure this out? I tried putting hoppers underneath here. And I tried get rid of that for a moment. Stair blocks, which stair blocks seem to work as well as bottom slabs, or top, yeah, bottom slabs in this case. Now in this setup, we are still affected by this change in momentum, but with those stairs being over there, we actually get a little bit of feedback, and we'll see that here with those being stuck there, no momentum. The slab's going to bring it back. Those fell through, so that's not, we don't want to put hoppers underneath here because that'll just pull stuff down. But sometimes that stuff gets pulled down here when it gets with it, when it messes with its momentum and pulling it back. And we could honestly, oops, not that one. Let's fix that. Put a, we're all over the place with this one. And what this hopper could end up doing is run a hopper chain back over there to feed back into this dropper to just enter it back in to the chain. Like we even got one that was over here. Once the items get to that point, they actually can get, well, they didn't get pulled in. It takes some special consideration for them to get out of this loop. It does work. It just takes a while. But I have found something that actually is a little bit better. Let's get our stuff. Get rid of that. Let's get this out of the way. This is where the piston elevator system has its drawbacks, and that is one thing that I have not solved yet. I'm looking for suggestions on that. Me and Yasser spent a couple hours last night trying to fine-tune that as best we could. But back to the queue problem. One thing that's mentioned in the Gore to Fame video is that slabs and daylight sensors, because of their height, make this work. Now, if we have a daylight sensor here, and we're going up against a slab which is slightly taller, oh, it's sending it back through. I forgot about that mechanic. Can't believe that. Anyways, the daylight sensor works like the slab, but as here, and we'll do it. This will be what I'm talking about. So I want to let it cycle. Well, we'll get some more examples of this here in a bit. by using this daylight sensor, we're actually able to manipulate the cue in such a way that doesn't change the momentum of any of the blocks. So this took about an hour for us to figure out, 30, 45 minutes to figure out last night, that using a slab in that place causes issues, but using a daylight sensor solves those issues. Because none of these are changing their momentum. None of them are getting pulled left and right from where they want to go with the movement of this slab, or in this case, daylight sensor, because of the height difference between those slabs, or in this instance, bottom stairs. So now I don't even need to use the bottom stairs. Let's go ahead and pull those out. It doesn't change really anything, but it'll be more consistent. So I think this is a really good application of manipulating the cue. And we're manipulating the cue for a specific reason, because that piston pusher down there, which does have, like I said, it has its own flaws. Let's grab all those out of there. Oh, my timing is way off. My timing is reversed, actually. That's what it is. Hold on. I need to inverse this. So come on. There we go. That's why there was so much garbage down there. And there's so much garbage that... Oh, we got it turned off. Okay. Let's put all this up here. So I was causing that problem myself. My timing's off, so there is that. That door closed a little too soon. That needs one more tick delay. Yeah, that needs one more delay. And those are all max. Let's do... this. Get rid of that. That seems to be better. Let's go get this one that lost its momentum. Ooh, it still just barely made it. not getting any losses right now, which is not the case I was getting in my my nether build on this. I was getting quite a bit. That should be, yeah, it's unloading, so it's gonna have a lot to pick up. I think it could do with another delay, one more. It just barely makes it. It opens up with enough time. So we're going to do one more. Nope. Too much. Do 2 ticks. That seems to be a good speed. Let's check the beginning. So that seems to be working really well. I might take this design and redo a little bit of stuff in my nether world, nether build. But this light sensor here, I think this is essential for if you want to manipulate the queue in keeping stuff trapped and then enabling it where things can pass through a queue. Basically, this is your gate. This is the ticket taker. This is the thing that enables queue to empty out. And then when it comes back, everything lines up and waits its turn. From then on, the item elevator is just to show why this queue would be useful for whatever reason you want to hold on to a line of items. And then obviously this is just an unloader, so I don't have to keep restocking this. That's almost done. And it picked up everything. Not bad. But it has quite a bit in there, so. So that's managing the queue. Oh, all these expired. They went away. We'll come back over here and we'll finish up here. But yeah, using the light sensor seems to be an essential tool if you want to queue up items and hold them for specific times. Now, obviously, you can't queue them up for more than 5 minutes because the things are going to despawn. But for item streams like this, that you want to do something different with them, do something weird with them, not just send them on down the line. And you don't want to throw it into a hopper. You don't want to throw it into a dropper until it's time. Oop. Leftovers from our initial attempt to solve this problem, which I think that the light sensor does solve this problem. So I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope that you've checked out the rest of the episodes in this playlist. Tune in for my Forever Sky Bedrock world, where I am trying to implement something similar to this in my world. I was by stream last night. We were troubleshooting this when I streamed for 2 hours, which is the longest I've ever done that. Which that should be on YouTube Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. If you've watched this long, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and tune in for the next one and see what we do next. Goodbye, everybody.